guys, I'm here to get into Picnic at Hanging Rock, which came out in the year 1975 and was directed by Peter Weir, an Australian director. This is a film that just keeps getting better the more I think about it because it just literally has some of the greatest atmosphere of all time. I mean, I first saw this when I was 20 years old, and it's just kind of changed me in a big kind of subconscious way where it just keeps coming up to me in random moments, miscellaneous parts of my 20s, but then I wouldn't think about it all the time. But now I'm like, yeah, this is literally one of the most groundbreaking and original horror films I've ever seen in the purest sense because there's a very menacing kind of atmosphere living in this film, but it's also a very innocent depiction of characters as they gradually lose it through a very strange mystery. Something of a supernatural force. I mean, for all I know, this almost makes me think of something like the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey, where it's just something ethereal has come around and changed everything. You don't even see you just kind of see everything in between, which makes it all the more mysterious for this film's case. And this just whatever this force is, it just has this insanely psychological effect on every character in its own kind of way. It's very shocking in its own kind of subtle way. And yeah, I mean, this is just one of those films where and a lot of the characters are almost it seems like I noticed in the first act there's a lot more complaining going on in the dialogue, while in the second act there's just none of it. So it's there's kind of the loss of innocence happening right there. And yeah, this is just one of those films where it's very ethereal, and it just kind of gets into what paranoia is endlessly, and it's endlessly just fascinating absorbing into this masterwork. I mean, it's just one of the most mysterious kind of films ever made, and it's very rich thematically. It just has a lot that it's juggling throughout its entire run span. It just feels like it kind of just exists just to be kind of just something of an unknown territory. That's almost all you can say about it. It's almost just that simple. Yeah, there's kind of an unknown territory that a lot of this is getting into. A lot of complexity that's kind of being explored in this film. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like all I could say without revealing anything more. But it's a very original kind of film, to say the least. I mean, yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite Australian films, along with Nicholas Roeg's Walkabout. Just the depictions. And of course, New Zealand Lord of the Rings is also its only, but this right here is just a very particular kind of more isolated kind of Australian atmosphere by contrast. It's a different, it's a beautiful film. I mean, the cinematography is perfect. I know it was a huge influence on Sofia Coppola particularly, which completely makes sense because this is just a very haunting mystery film. And it's about one of the best I've ever seen. So I recommend this film to anybody, honestly. It's highly worth checking out, at least once, just to take in what the extent of what an original atmosphere this entire film evokes, and just the dialogue. It's very soothing and haunting at the same time. The band it makes me think of a lot of is Comus. It's like a cinematic equivalent of listening to Comus, literally. It's like just getting into something unknown, but it's overwhelmingly horrifying, and then it just all kind of catches up to you at once. It's just one of those. So that's Picnic at Hanging Rock. There's none of that from Leggett. The original 1975 version is a freaking masterpiece. So I highly recommend it.